Have you ever been afraid to admit you don't know something? It's a common fear, isn't it? We live in a society that often discourages people from admitting ignorance. It's as if not knowing something is a sign of weakness, a flaw that needs to be hidden. But is it really? Picture this. You're at a dinner party, and the conversation turns to a topic you're not familiar with. You feel your cheeks flush, your heart rate quickens, and you start to sweat. You're afraid to say those three little words, "I don't know." Instead, you nod along, trying to blend in, hoping no one will notice your lack of knowledge. Or imagine you're in a business meeting, and your boss asks for your opinion on a complex issue. You don't have all the facts, but you feel a pressure to respond. Saying, "I don't know" seems like career suicide, so you make a guess, hoping it's close enough to the truth. These situations are all too common. They're a product of a society that values knowledge above all else, that sees ignorance as a shortcoming rather than a natural part of the human experience. We're taught from a young age that we should have all the answers, that admitting we don't know is a sign of weakness. But here's the thing, this fear of admitting ignorance, it's holding us back. It's preventing us from asking questions, from learning, from growing. It's creating a culture of pretend knowledge, where people are more interested in appearing smart than in actually understanding the world around them. So, what can we do about it? How can we overcome this fear of saying, "I don't know"? It starts with changing our perspective. We need to see ignorance not as a flaw but as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become better. It's time to change our perspective on the phrase, "I don't know." Let's delve deeper. Saying "I don't know" is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Now that might sound counterintuitive to some of you, but allow me to explain. In our society, we often equate knowledge with power. We're conditioned to believe that admitting ignorance is a sign of weakness, that it somehow diminishes our worth. But in reality, the opposite is true. When we admit we don't know something, we open ourselves up to learning, to growth, and to the potential for new understanding. Consider the cases of some of the most successful individuals in various fields. They didn't reach the pinnacle of their careers by pretending to know everything. In fact, they got there by openly admitting when they didn't know something and then seeking out the knowledge they needed. Take Albert Einstein, for instance. One of the greatest minds in history, yet he was never shy about his ignorance. He once said, "I have no special talent, I am only passionately curious." That passion for learning, that willingness to admit ignorance, was a key part of his success. Or consider Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest men in the world. He's been quoted as saying, "What counts for most people in investing is not how much they know, but rather how realistically they define what they don't know." It's this humility, this recognition of his own limitations, that has helped him make wise investment decisions. And it's not just about personal growth either. Admitting ignorance can also foster professional growth. It creates a culture of learning and innovation, where people feel comfortable asking questions and seeking out new knowledge. It breaks down barriers and encourages collaboration and open communication. So next time you're tempted to pretend to know something you don't, pause for a moment. Remember that "I don't know" is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. It's an admission that you're human, that you're a learner, that you're open to new ideas and experiences. So, "I don't know" can indeed be a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. Imagine a leader who admits they don't know everything. What would that look like? In the realm of leadership, the phrase "I don't know" often carries an unnecessary stigma. But let's contemplate this. If a leader has the courage to admit they don't have all the answers, doesn't that demonstrate a humbleness and authenticity that invites trust and respect? Consider the story of Alan Mulally, the former CEO of Ford Motor Company. When Mulally took the reins in 2006, Ford was in a dire state. During one of his first meetings, he asked his executives a simple question: "Is there anything we're doing that isn't working?" The room was silent. No one wanted to admit they didn't know, or that their strategies weren't working. Mulally took this as an opportunity to change the culture at Ford. He encouraged his team to embrace the phrase "I don't know." The result? A more open, honest environment that fostered collaboration and innovation. By 2014, Ford had made a remarkable turnaround. Then there's the example of Ed Catmull, president of Pixar and Walt Disney Animation Studios. Catmull openly admits he doesn't have all the answers and often seeks input from his team. This willingness to admit what he doesn't know has fostered a culture of creativity and innovation that has led to blockbuster films like Toy Story, Cars, and Frozen. These leaders illustrate that admitting "I don't know" isn't a sign of weakness, but a testament to strength. It invites open dialogue, encourages learning, and fosters a culture of collaboration. When leaders admit they don't know everything, they create an environment where everyone feels valued and empowered to contribute, where ideas can flourish and innovation can thrive. So, next time you find yourself in a leadership position, remember, it's okay to say, I don't know. In fact, it's more than okay, it's beneficial. It shows you're human, that you're willing to learn, and that you value the knowledge and expertise of those around you. Leadership is not about knowing everything, it's about learning and growing together. Coaches don't have all the answers either, and that's perfectly fine. In the realm of coaching, the phrase "I don't know" isn't just an admission of uncertainty, it's a powerful tool that can foster a rich learning environment. Whether you're a life coach, a business coach, or a sports coach, your role is not to have all the answers, but to guide your clients towards finding their own. Let's consider a scenario. A coach is presented with a complex problem by a client. The coach could give an immediate answer drawing on their own experiences and knowledge. But what if instead the coach says, "I don't know, how do you think we should tackle this?" This reframing shifts the dynamic, encouraging the client to tap into their own insights and forge their own path. Case studies abound where "I don't know" has been used effectively in coaching interactions. In one example, a leadership coach was asked by a client how to handle a difficult employee. Instead of offering immediate advice, the coach responded with, "I don't know, what have you tried so far?" This prompted the client to reflect on their own actions and consider new strategies, ultimately leading to a more effective resolution. Another case study involves a sports coach who was asked by an athlete how to improve their performance. The coach replied, "I don't know. What do you think your strengths and weaknesses are?" This response encouraged the athlete to self-assess, fostering a deeper understanding of their own abilities and areas for improvement. The beauty of "I don't know" in coaching is that it shifts the focus from the coach as the expert to the client as the expert of their own life or situation. It empowers the client, fostering their self-reliance and self-confidence. So, coaches don't shy away from saying "I don't know." It doesn't make you appear less competent, but rather shows your commitment to the learning process and your trust in your client's abilities to find their own answers. As a coach, saying "I don't know" can actually enhance your credibility and effectiveness. We've seen how powerful "I don't know" can be, so how can we embrace it? Well, first and foremost, it's about shifting our mindset. We need to see "I don't know" not as an admission of failure, but as an opportunity for growth. It's a chance to learn something new, to expand our horizons, to step out of our comfort zone. It's also a sign of humility, a recognition that we don't have all the answers, and that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's human. Next, we need to build a culture where "I don't know" is accepted and even encouraged. This is particularly important in professional settings. Leaders, managers, coaches, teachers, parents, we all have a role to play in this. We need to create safe spaces where people feel comfortable saying "I don't know," where they're not afraid of being judged or ridiculed for not knowing something. Practically, this can be achieved through open and honest communication. It's about asking questions, seeking feedback, and admitting when we don't know something. It's about being curious, being a lifelong learner. It's about embracing the journey of learning, not just the destination. And finally, we need to lead by example. If we want others to embrace "I don't know," we need to embrace it ourselves. We need to show that it's okay to not know, that it's okay to ask questions, that it's okay to learn. We need to show that "I don't know" is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. So, let's start today. Let's start now. Let's embrace "I don't know." Let's make it a part of our everyday lives, our everyday conversations. Let's make it a part of our culture. Let's make it a part of who we are. Remember, it's okay to say "I don't know." It's not a sign of weakness, but a gateway to growth and learning.